freaking crap, YouTube. Does air have some fun for you? Let's get things kicked off here. I'm trying to remember. I think this is the replay I want to show you. So I've got a couple of, actually probably 3 videos I'm going to show you here. 2 of them are going to be Patchy absolutely decimating modern armies. So this is going to be Patchy using traditional samurai tribe troops to completely humiliate modern armies. Now, Patchy has been defeated by modern armies. He's not undefeated. There's a few people who wise up and actually know how to use the modern armies, but most people don't, and it's just really hilarious to see the results. And I'm not really going to tell you the effective way to use modern armies against the traditional samurai armies, because I don't want to ruin it for those people out there who don't want to buy the expansion and they enjoy this kind of mayhem. But there are some ways to use the new Imperial troops against the old-timey troops quite effectively. So this is a little tactic that I like to call Patchy's Sakura Ridge Steamroller. So this is quite the angry tactic here. I believe this is just medium funds, if I'm not mistaken, but I have a full stack army. I've got 2 light cav leading the way. I've got like 5 Nagi attendants, like a whole bunch of sword attendants. I've got 4 katana cav and 3 Yari cav. Yari cav on either side, katana cav on either side. I've got Patchy, I've got Yari Ashigaru to capture the morale shrine. So here's my Yari Ashigaru, here's my cav on the other side. My opponent has chosen a very well, here, let's watch some of this. Watch this light cav charge. Look at these guys are like rocket propelled downhill into the back of these black bears. Boom! Look at that, just launched those guys. So that light cav right there just racked up like 30 kills on the charge. And then this one over here got a whole bunch of kills too. This one's already got 70 kills before they rout it. And what's funny is he's shooting the crap out of his own men in the back. So the light cav were just a distraction force, and they caused a massive amount of damage to his own troops just because he had to shoot a bunch of his own troops in the back. And I also got, you know, well over 100 kills with 2 cheap units of light cav. It kept my opponent from being able to cap the top of this hill, so now my troops are going to be able to run downhill into his and melee. So my opponent is trying anything he can now to get back on pace, so he's using his general to harass my Yari cav. But my Yari cav are going to chase him off and remind him that indeed he is a coward in his heart, and that he doesn't really wish to face traditional samurai troops. And at this moment I am capping the morale shrine and the farmhouse. And so that's going to make my men have extremely good stamina and very good morale, and so their morale is not going to really waver because of being tired. Plus, whenever Patchy is near them, he drops the amount of fatigue resistance they gain. Check us out, this modern general doesn't really know what to do. He's sitting here chasing my Yari cav, but he really doesn't want to get too close or else he's going to incur the wrath of my katana cav. And these guys are dismounting to capture the shrine. Katana cav are just freaking bad. I love these guys. And here comes my Yari cav charging into the enemy general. He may shoot a few of my men, but they are more than glad to charge in, and my opponent gets really lucky here. He probably should have lost half of his general's unit. Indeed, he only ends up losing like 5 or 6 men. He's able to chase me out with these spears, but he takes very few losses, all things considered, right there. To turn your back to a Yari cav and get away with that many men is lucky. So this general is going to survive, at least for now. That was called foreshadowing, folks. It's a literary device, as Clooney the Scourge once said. So in any case, there goes my Yari cav at lightning speed. I don't know why they're running so fast. But in any case, he's pulling all his Yari ki over here, thinking that he can mass up some of his spears and get kind of clever here and pin me up with his general, but it doesn't matter. Now that he's pulled his Yari ki away from his army, it's just going to leave them more wide open to a downhill charge by my men, which is coming very shortly. What do you think, Patchy? Patchy, on a scale of 1 to 10, how gruesome do you think the death of the enemy soldiers is going to be today? Yes, Patchy says 11. So, in any case, my opponent, I went ahead and charged this general in his Yari ki, just so I could cause more damage. I'm not sure how much damage I'll cause, but I'll end up killing a fair few of his men, just because my guys really have excellent morale and pretty decent charge. So I'm going to kill, my Yari ki will get plenty of kills, even though they're really outnumbered. They'll get, looks like between 30 and 40 kills, which isn't bad. And then his general's unit is down 12 men. So that was worth it to me. Here's my men cresting the hill. Let's watch his men as they sit down here and probably what is shocked. My opponent really doesn't have them arranged very well. He's in kind of a noob box. So his guys are going to go ahead and start opening fire. You can see Patchy rallying his troops, And their morale, this is just an attendant unit that has 11 morale, and his black bears only or white bears only have 7. So these guys are just going to get pummeled. Watch these spear levy getting charged by my sword Naginata attendants. They're going to come in and just start dicing these guys. I'm using retainers and all kinds of stuff to boost my attendants. He's shooting his own men in the back while he's hitting my troops. And then in the front, here comes my sword attendants, and then Patchy. If these guys thought that Patchy was afraid of them, then they thought wrong. So Patchy charged right in. He's going to go into stand and fight right in their face. Sword attendants charge down the hill and just absolutely break the enemy army. And my opponent rage quits. So check out the pile of corpses that accrued there in just a moment. Check out my men there, like charging down the hill, and then here's all the Imperial troops routing like the bunch of true cowards that they really were. So you gotta love it when you force someone to rage quit. Let's go to the next replay, and I'll show you another fun one. So this is another Patchy defies modernization type situation here. And this one, if you thought the last one was kind of funny, this one is twice as funny. Because you are going to see something here, folks, that is, you know, like if you've ever watched that show, Deadliest Warrior, and it's retarded because they like face off all these warriors against each other that would have never faced each other. And it's just kind of ridiculous. Well, in this situation, Air has got his own version of Deadliest Warrior that he's going to show you. And it is pretty dang funny. So yeah, in this particular battle, I've decided to use a slightly different army, and I will show you that army as soon as we get started up, but I do believe you're going to enjoy this. So a lot of people who bring traditional armies will just cav spam. And so I've got to put it into slow motion and show you this. My opponent thought I was going to cav spam, but what I really did was I brought 4 Kisho ninjas, immediately threw them into the stealth mode here, where they do like the quick advance, and they can't be seen. So my opponent cannot fire. He's brought these rifle troops and his U.S. Marines. So here it is, Air's Deadliest Warrior. We've got Shameful Display, which is my Kisho ninja, versus this U.S. Marine unit over here. So little did these Marines know that when they signed up to go to Japan, that they were going to be ambushed by a unit of freaking beastly Kisho ninjas. Look at the stats: 14 morale, 32 attack, 14 defense, and it's like 30-something charge. Yeah, so watch this charge into these U.S. Marines. These guys never even saw it coming. Whoa! Look at that. Look at that, folks. Was that brutal or what? I took that U.S. Marine unit down, 30 men on the charge from the Kisho ninjas, and then just watch this unit just drop like flies as my ninjas just murder these poor Marines. These guys did not know what they were getting into. Is this hilarious or what, folks? Are you not entertained? I mean, my ninjas are just beasting these guys. And remember, the U.S. Marines are like one of the best melee units too from the new patch. And my ninjas just absolutely wrecked these guys. Like, it wasn't even a fight. And then right here in the center, his Tosa rifleman got all mixed up. His cav came in trying to save the day, so he's got Yariki and Imperial Guard cav, but my ninjas are just in here absolutely beasting these Tosa riflemen. And these guys are expensive too. And his cav is good, but once they get into a sustained melee with my ninjas are actually going to cause a pretty substantial amount of damage. So his cav won't get away with this like completely unscathed. Plus, his only recourse is to try and fire these expensive Imperial Guard cav like into the back of his own men, so he's going to be killing a lot of his own men. So I find this to be absolutely hilarious. So my ninja trap just worked perfect. And then look, one of his Yariki units is routing too from my ninjas. So my ninjas have racked up a ridiculous number of kills. And then check out this Shameful Display unit. It racked up 122 kills. And here they are chasing down these U.S. Marines who are wishing that they had never, ever left North Carolina. So, yep, there they are, getting absolutely hacked to bits. And I think it's hilarious that they got cut apart by a unit named Shameful Display. Right there, Shameful Display. Get him! Oh yeah, Air likes it. So Patchy shows no mercy to these modern generals and reminds them that all those who forsake the way of Bushido will be punished. So that's what he is doing right here. So there's my ninjas, like I said, standing out. And to reinforce the ninjas, I have an incoming cav charge. You can see them coming here. This is 3 units of Warrior Monk Cav that is going to easily beast any Cav that my opponent has remaining. So yep, there's my Warrior Monk Cav charging in. His Imperial Guard Cav is busy firing, so they're not going to get any shots off. And so this means that my Monk Cav is really, really going to have an easy time. Here goes the Tosa Riflemen. They're going to start getting pwned. Here comes my Monk Cav in. It's going to mop up the rest of these Yariki. He takes off running with his Imperial Guard Cav, but it really doesn't matter. And check it out. I just about ninja bombed his general. His general got away. Shame for display. Just about ninja bombed. Just ninja bombed him. Oh, what? What? He rage quit? I can't imagine why. So Patchy has figured out several ways to make people rage quit. And shame for display. Okay, let's go to the replays. I got one more really cool battle for you. At least I think it's cool. Actually, let's go back out to the unit statistics because I need to be able to see which one I'm picking from there. So actually, yeah, it's a 2v2 battle I want to show you. And I figured I'd roll these all into one because Patchy has dispatched his enemies rather quickly in both those battles. So if you've learned anything there, bringing an Imperial army with super expensive infantry units and a few cav units, bad idea. And always be on the lookout for Kisho Ninja. I was hoping my opponent would have brought like a whole lot bigger infantry force so that my ninjas just would have beasted and beasted and beasted. But it was pretty good the way it worked out. My ninjas got a lot of kills. Like his troops didn't stand it. They didn't even see my guys. Like I went into stealth mode and ran right in on the charge. Like I didn't bomb him or anything. So the next thing he knew, his guys are just engaged in a hopeless melee with units with 30-something attack. So it's kind of like being in a melee with like 4 katana heroes. Like it's just... it's not somewhere you want to be. So yeah, there's the unit statistics. Shame for Display racked up 134 kills. Devil Match Tribute got a 90, and then here's the rest of them. So all my ninjas got way more kills than they did deaths. And my other troops didn't really get a chance to fight because my opponent wienered out. Oh man, that's funny. Alright, so I got one more replay for you. Let me find it. I played some... maybe this will work. Where did it go? There it is. Yeah, so I played a 2v2 with Point Man the other day, and for those of you all who don't know Point Man, when I play Shogun 2, like I'm a really average player when it comes to Total War games. Point Man is actually a really good player at pretty much all the Total War games I've ever seen him play. And so he makes videos as well, and I'll put a link to his channel down in the description, and I might put one here in the video too if I remember. But if you do, you can check out his videos. He likes to make a lot of videos, and he's excellent at controlling his troops, and pretty much just all-around Total War player. So if you want to see someone who's a little more skilled than me, you can definitely watch his videos. When I say a little more skilled, I'm being way too gracious to myself. Point Man's definitely a better player than I am. So we played some 2v2s together, and he and I had a rough start. Like, I picked some dumb armies, and then we just got put in some weird positions, but he and I wanted to do well in a match. And so he decided to pull out his traditional avatar, and then I decided to go with my my modern avatar. So I've got Patchy Cogburn, which is my modern avatar, and then Point Man is using his classic avatar. So we'll kind of watch things. So I like to call this video Point Man's Epic Charge. And if you want to see a blood and guts mess of a battle, then YouTube, you have come to the right place. So here's Point Man's army. He has, let's see, a couple of Nagi attendants up front. Looks like 3 of them. And you'll notice he's layering his troops, and he's got them in loose formation. So he's got Nagi attendants followed up by Yari Ashigaru, followed by warrior monks. And the warrior monks are going to have really high morale, and it's going to keep them in the fight for a long time. And then he's got his avatar up here, which is looks like a leader gen with some good melee stats. And then I'm supporting him with some Imperial Guard Cav, and then I'll be drawing other units over as necessary. I'm going to run up and capture this shrine, which we were lucky this started on our side. I'm basically using White Bears with an Imperial Infantry, 150 range Imperial Infantry, which is right here. And then I've got my U.S. Marines out here. Or no, my Royal Marines, my bad. Yep, so I brought the Royal Marines this time. There they go. And then I've got 3 Yariki also. Or, no, 4 Yariki. That's right, 4 Yariki, 2 Imperial Guard Cav. I want to say 4 White Bears. Yeah, no, 5 White Bears. Yeah, I've got a big army. Yeah, so my opponent over here, he's got a whole bunch of modern troops. He's got some Royal Marines himself, and also, let's see, he's got Royal Marines and Imperial Guard Infantry. And then he's got a bunch of Black Bears. Let's watch Point Man's heroic charge here. So his opponent, I'm going to put it into slow-mo real quick just so you can catch the whole thing. So Point Man is capping out the farmhouse, and that's going to be an important move because it's going to help him get the stamina he needs. His opponent is shooting his Armstrong guns at his general, so I'm sure Point Man's going to move his general. His army is spread very wide over a large swath of territory, and between the terrain and the trees, it's going to help him make the attack he needs to. His opponent looks like kind of a mixed general there. And then let's take a look at his front line so that you know what Point Man's going up against. He's got a bunch of trash units, so like right here and here he's only got White Tiger Force in front of his Armstrong gun, but his good units are up on this hill, and he does some pretty smart thinking here. Whether it was on purpose or not, I don't know, but he's got his White Tiger Force up front, and then up on the hill he's got an Infanterie des Marines, and an Imperial Infantry, a United States Marines, and a Royal Marine, so he has got this flank absolutely stacked. So Point Man is going to be getting shot by, 6 units at once, basically, because these guys are up on a higher terrain and can fire over the heads of the White Tiger Force. So Point Man has got his work cut out for him there. And here he comes up the center. Check out the stoic morale of his men here as they sneak forward, knowing that the bullets are going to start flying, but they are going to just go for it. And here's a Black Tortoise Force that's up here from our enemy as well, so he's reinforcing his teammate against Point Man's rush, which is definitely a smart move. So check it out, Point Man's got 4 Nagi warrior monks over here, and it looks like he's trying to bring these Naginata attendants up as a meat shield so that he can then rush. But he's going to have his work cut out for him. But check out this heroic rush. So here comes his rush. His Nagi attendants are up front. We're going to watch this up close and personal. The White Tiger Force are not going to get all that many kills, to be honest. White Tiger Force are terrible. And Point Man's going to be following them up closely with his next units. But notice how he keeps them all in loose formation. He puts a little space in between it. He doesn't clump them up. And he just goes for it and rushes forward. His opponent countercharges with a Yari Key into spear troops, which was just utterly stupid, to be honest. But now Point Man's troops are going to be able to get into combat. He does have Imperial Guard Cab back here, though, that's also going to be shooting his troops. So Point Man gets into an extremely bloody battle here in the center. He's got his Naginata Monk Cav and everything in here as well. And he is just absolutely in a desperate fight to win the center. But check it out, up here on the ridge, his units just get absolutely brutalized. These White Tiger Force right here, though, are going to get massacred by Nagi Warrior Monks. But the problem is he's got all those elite units up on the hill behind him that are going to just start opening up and destroying these Nagi Monks. Now, Point Man does subvert this corner here, and he takes his troops, or at least he tries to get up around. This White Tiger Force slows him down, but he continues the charge because he knows that he needs to get into melee as soon as possible. But as soon as he crests the hill, these guys are going to open fire. And check out these United States Marines here, just poning these monks from a distance. So these monks are going to want to get into melee. Then the Royal Marines are about to open fire as well. Nope, they're going to run away. So yeah, check it out. These Marines just destroyed the charge from these monks. But Point Man absolutely pwned in the center. And then I've got my Imperial Guard Cav up here assisting too, so I pulled them up and I'm shooting up this Black Tortoise Force. And Point Man's Walker Raiders and other troops are down here mopping up some of these remaining units in this vicinity. Looks like there is another Black Tortoise Force down here. And Point Man's going to charge these Walker Raiders into them, so let's watch that charge. It ought to be pretty sweet. This is what these guys get for embracing the foreign devils. I saw a head rolling along the ground right there. So yeah, these Black Tortoise Force are just going to get absolutely pwned here. This is going to be not a contest at all. Oh man, check out the bloody nature of that fight. So here, Point Man had some monks come back from routing, I think. They're going to charge from behind and try and get into melee combat again. But I do believe, I don't know if these guys are going to hold on or not, because they're just under a heavy amount of fire. So there's only 23 of them left, but they do have huge morale. I've got the shrine plus their monks. They do rout, though, just because of all the fire they took. Now over here, he catches this Infanterie des Marines. So these Frenchmen are getting engaged by a Lone Sword Ashigaru, which is going to have more than enough attack to deal death to this Infanterie des Marines. So check it out. Lone Sword Ashigaru ripping these guys up. expensive unit like a Infantry de Marine to get caught in melee by a Lone Sword Ashigaru is not where you want them to be, and they just get absolutely wrecked. There's another Lone Sword Ashigaru that's got these Imperial Infantry engaged, so these Imperial Infantry are also getting massacred. I think I see another head on the ground right there. I love how like Point Man's guys are just all absolutely soaked in blood. He tried to retreat these Royal Marines to where they could fight, but now they're engaged with Lone Sword Ashigaru too. So I think this is hilarious watching all these modern troops getting diced up by traditional katana troops. It's pretty sweet. And the general of the Point Man's enemy here just died. These Royal Marines are shattered. They're taken off. The only unit he's got left is this U.S. Marines, which he's running away to try and get more shots. And basically all I've had to do is keep my opponent pinned up. So my opponent is going to be in really bad shape as he's lost a bunch of units, plus his teammate's gone. And then I was using my Imperial Guard Cav right here to continue to harass his men. Look, my Imperial Guard Cav already has 166 kills. And then this one has 172 kills. So I've gotten a substantial number of kills with my Imperial Guard Cav. Here's the U.S. Marines making a heroic last stand. But it is not going to be enough to hold off all of these Japanese forces. So check it out. There it goes. They're doing the shuffle right there, actually, too. Now they're getting charged by Yari Ashigaru and Lone Swords. So it's an interesting battle to see a U.S. Marine in, fighting against all these old-timey Japanese troops. But these Marines are just going to get absolutely owned. Like, even though they have good melee stats, they really just can't hold out against these traditional units. None of the modern units can. And look, Point Man's general somehow lived. Here he is. So that's pretty sweet. Alright, so right here, this Royal Marine has been singled out. And so Point Man was telling me, he's like, charge it with your cav, and then he was, giving me some advice. And so we're going to single this unit out with their combined arms approach. So I'm going to bring in a Yari key from 2 different directions. So here's Royal Marines getting absolutely whacked by traditional Japanese cavalry. And then they're going to get hit from the other direction as well, I believe. Yeah, so I've got 2 Yari key into these guys. And I'm going to chase them down and beat them up while they're running away. So he's going to keep running them away, which is a smart move. If they stand there and fight, they're going to get absolutely destroyed. But he's got another unit set up in position to start pouring fire down, so I did have to call off the chase. But I did kill about 50 of those Royal Marines. And now check out the situation here. So my opponent is in pretty dire shape. He doesn't really have many troops left. I think he's got some troops left hidden in these woods. And then he's got these guys on the hill, and that's pretty much all he's got. Plus his avatar, which is a leader general, so his avatar can't even shoot. And he's never going to get into melee and live. There's a unit of black bears, and we're hidden in these woods. They're going to open fire, but I think they're opposite of my U.S. Marines and my Imperial Infantry, both of which have ridiculous reload stats. So you're going to see these black bears just get absolutely creamed. They'll get like a couple of volleys off, but they're going to get absolutely destroyed by my superior units. The infantry I brought to this fight has really good reload and accuracy statistics overall. So yeah, check out those black bears doing their little shuffle. Not even firing. See, this is more of the glitches that need to be fixed. But they end up routing, basically, I think. If they haven't routed, they're about to. Yeah, they're about to rout. They glitched for so long shuffling that they went back into hiding. To give you an idea on how long these guys were glitching out. My guys are going to quickly finish them off, though. As soon as I get another volley, I had to move forward to make sure I could spot them. But it's not going to take much. And as soon as they get hit, they start doing the shuffle again. Gotta love that shuffle. These guys actually lasted longer than I thought they did. I didn't realize they stayed in the fight this long. I'm pretty surprised. It must be because he has a leader general and they have 9 morale, so they stayed in the fight a little longer. Now they're getting outflanked too, and so they're going to totally eat it right there. So yeah, they're out. So now it's just a matter of Point Man and I surrounding up the remaining troops. I got my Imperial Guard Cav coming in here and taking some pot shots. My Cav units do have a pretty ridiculously high number of kills, almost 200 each, just because they've been getting a lot of shots during this battle. And I'll let you watch the heroic last stand that our remaining opponent makes. I say heroic, but it's definitely, again, if you were looking for a bloody end, then you have come to the right place, YouTube, because you're about to see an absolute brutal end. These remaining forces, as Point Man and I completely surround them and move in for the kill, basically. So he forms into kind of an overall defensive formation here with troops on each side. They're only going to get one, maybe two volleys off, but see, my guys are shooting at him, so it's not really going to matter. He's going to be in trouble pretty much regardless. And I've got a huge Yari-Ki charge coming in now because I've got all 4 units of my Yari-Ki left. I haven't had to use them really in this battle. So I'm going to come in and disrupt with Yari-Ki while we both charge our infantry in. So my opponent will get a few shots, but he's actually reforming right now too. So it's going to give my Yari-Ki a chance to get even closer and hopefully not take any shots. But I do think he does get some shots with his... Yep, there he goes. So he's going to get some shots with these Imperial Guard infantry, which these guys are some pretty darn good infantry. And their stats just went way up too. It must be they got inspired or... no, suppressive fire was what it was. Yeah, here's my giant Yari-Ki charge. I'm just going to plow through his lines, completely disrupt his lines, and look at the size of this Yari-Ki charge. This is huge. And then my Yari-Ki are targeted right onto his general, which is standing in stand and fight right here. So yeah, his general is going to get absolutely hammered by many units of Yari-Ki. And on top of that, Point Man's melee troops are coming in right now to mop up the remainder of his guys. And then my guys over here have opened fire as well. So his guys are just getting absolutely slaughtered from every angle. And his general right here is about to rout and try and run off the battlefield. So hope you enjoyed these replays. Just trying to bring you some more Shogun 2 action. I think they need to do some patching to really make the Fall of the Samurai stuff more interesting. I still have more fun playing the traditional armies, but I mean, I do play the Fall of the Samurai armies. I love the Fall of the Samurai campaign. It doesn't get old to me, but the multiplayer is a little bit lame for me right now, but you can still have fun with it. So hopefully you all had fun with these. We'll take a look at the statistics, and then I'm going to jet. Got to get to bed, get ready for work. All that fun stuff. Some of you are congratulating me and being promoted. I appreciate that. There's no need, though. Like, I mean, just doing my job. In any case, it does keep me busy. I love it. And I'm definitely excited about what's going on at work right now. But it's definitely going to keep me busy. So if I was busy before, I'm definitely going to be busy now. So there's the kills. You can see Point Man really racked up a lot of kills. I still got a fair few kills, even though I joined that fight pretty late. If we take a look at what units got what, my Imperial Infantry did the best, followed closely with my Imperial Guard Cav and my Royal Marines, all did very well. Let's take a look at Point Man's units. So his Lone Sword Ashigaru, holy crap, 245 kills, and this one got 212. That is absolutely outstanding. And this Waka Raider got 208 kills too, so yeah, Point Man had some units that just absolutely beasted his opponent there. Anyway, good game to our opponents. Thanks for playing with me on that game, Point Man. Like I said, check out his channel, and I will catch you all later.